Hey, how you guys doing out there? James Humphrey with Associates Productions Movie Reviews. I got my co-host with me, Ali. In today's episode, we are doing the Avatar series. I believe this is our first cartoon series that we're doing for movie reviews. So let's go ahead and get into it. I guess a little bit later on we'll discuss the movie and everything. Yeah, but let's talk about the series first. Do you want to go ahead and pop out the plot of this series?
It's a simple plot. So pretty much there's four nations. They lived in peace, and after events happened, the Fire Nation attacked, pretty much killed off all the airbenders, and there is one airbender that's left, is the Avatar. He is the last airbender, and he's pretty much supposed to come back and save the world and unite all the nations again. That is the gist of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What's confusing to me is that they pick. I guess the Avatar gets changed every
life cycle.
Every life cycle, there's a new Avatar that's like, because I guess only whatever you're born into is the only power you have. So if you're a waterbender, you're a waterbender. But I guess the Avatar is the only one that could master all four elements or whatever,
which are earth, fire, air, and water. So the Avatar is the master of all four elements and pretty much a protector. He can tap into the spirit world. That's how you get the Avatar abilities. So there's also like a spirit entity as well. He or she can be anybody. The Avatar, anytime you die, it gets reincarnated to the next element. So air, water, I think it's earth. Yeah, earth, then fire. That's the cycle of it. So air, water, earth, fire. So the last airbender prior to Aang, which is our main character, was a firebender, and the next airbender it ended up being a waterbender.
Right. And so the Fire Lord wants to take over everything on fire. Obviously, he want to burn everything down to fucking ground. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So he goes out to kill all the airbenders, but then the last airbender, Aang, more or less is kind of running from his duties as being the Avatar, and he ends up going into the big little
get trapped in ice. So
gets trapped in ice. I thought it was like a rainstorm or something. He goes into him and Appa goes into like a rainstorm.
So there's a cool episode in season 1 called The Storm, which is probably one of the best episodes of that season, where it talks about Aang's past and how he ended up being found in a block of ice.
In the block of ice, some shit like that.
He learned that he is the Avatar, and they're like, you pretty much got to get rid of all your worldly duties, get ready to start training, stuff like that. And he was like, worldly attachments. And he's like, I don't want this kind of responsibility.
Yeah, he's only Michael Jackson syndrome, where he just wants to be a kid.
Yeah, he's only a 10-year-old kid, I think, 10 or 12.
Like 10 to 12 or something.
Like he's not even 13 yet. Like because I think Katara is 14, so he's like 11, like 10, he's between 10 and 12.
Somewhere around. He's a
preteen. Yeah,
he's a kid.
It's a lot to put on him, because the previous Fire Lord, previous Firebender, who was the Avatar Roku, he found out when he was like 20. He found out, oh, you're the next Avatar. He's like, oh, word. Okay, like he's like probably like late teen, early 20s. Like he's between 18 and 20. So the dude's like, oh, word. Okay, let me go start training. Aang, on the other hand, is like, I just want to be a kid. I don't want this. So he runs away. And which is actually a good thing, can end up saving him. If he would have stayed back, he probably would have died. He runs away, and then he runs to the storm, gets knocked out, and falls into the water. Appa end up trying to save him, and then Aang turns to the Avatar state, and places himself a block of ice. 100 years later, Katara and Sokka, who are the two waterbenders that you see, who are out and about looking for food. Katara goes off on Sokka, uses her because she's a waterbender. Sokka's not a waterbender. Goes off on Sokka because Sokka's being an ignorant dude, just being misogynistic. Literally, like he is like being like, oh, you women are all this and that. Like he's legit being a dick character in this beginning of the series. Katara goes off on him. Her waterbending abilities shoots up this giant ice cube, and they're like, what's in here? They break it open and bloop, Aang, who Sokka would make sense. He's like very wary of this guy. And like, let's go ride penguins. Let's go have fun. Zuko, who is the main antagonist in the series, is a firebender as well. he's been banished from his family. He's off looking for Aang because he believed he captured the Avatar.
It will redeem him from his father, who banished him in the first place.
Yes, and he will be able to be accepted back into the Fire Nation as the Prince of all Fire Nation, Firebenders. Like he's pretty much Vegeta, but in the kids' form. So pretty much, Aang is learning how to become the Avatar, and Katara and Sokka believe like, okay, we're gonna help you learn all 4 elements because they feel in Aang what's going on. Aang think the world is still fine. He's like, let's go back home, and they're like, I don't think you understand. Like home,
your people are dead. Like they're gone. Like,
yeah,
like legit, like dead.
Dead, and he's like, no, everybody will be there. And they're like, I don't think you understand that.
Which kind of doesn't make sense because, like how do you repopulate the airbenders? Like, are they born into their element, or are they just kind of, they learn the element or something?
They're born into it.
Like they really. So that means that Aang, if he's the last airbender, he's got to do a lot of fucking to get the.
Which
fucking,
he pretty much he's only able to produce 1 airbender, and then his sons they produce 3 airbenders.
Mm-hmm. I thought there were 3 generations of him. No, yeah, you're right. There's only 2. That's right, because he did have like a bunch of kids.
And then you have which is a whole other series, but then like you do get more airbenders over time.
Right.
But that's a whole event that caused that. But yeah, you're born into your elements. And not all people from a tribe or from a nation can like do waterbend. Like for example, the waterbender, the Southern Water Tribe, only Katara was the only waterbender. There's a reason for that. And Sokka is the only oldest male. Well, he's the oldest male in his tribe, which he's like 15. There's a reason for that. The Fire Nation were trying to stop any kind of uprising. So they're like, we're going to go attack the Southern Water Nation because they're not as advanced as the Northern Water Tribe. So they go down and pretty much just run Ruckshaw and take all the waterbenders from that tribe, which all the male leaves the tribe to go hunt down the firebenders to save the people that got stolen. So Katara's mom gets kidnapped because she says she is like a waterbender to protect Katara. Mm-hmm. Sokka can't go to war because he's too young. His father says stay behind. So they don't have any adult supervision until their grandma. Katara's like, this is my right to go save, because she's like, we need to save everybody. There's so much hope, and this guy can save the universe, save the world. So she teams up with Aang to go stop the Fire Nation, and Sokka's like, well, I can't let my sister go out there by herself. So I'm gonna go out there with them.
So they more or less just travel the land to look for the other elements to fight the Fire Lord who's just been taken over.
Just places like, so there's a whole war right now. The Earth Kingdom was like, yeah, now bump that. We're not sitting by letting the Fire Nation just run ruckshot on us. So the Earth Kingdom is fighting back the Fire Nation. So Fire Nation's like, all right, we'll fight the Earth Kingdom for the majority of the series. Is the Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation fighting each other. The Northern Water Tribe's like, we have a giant fortress. Try to get in. You can't. Good luck. And the only reason they was able to get inside the water, the fortress, was because this guy named General Zhao kills the Moon Spirit. Mm-hmm. And that's how they were able to get in.
I believe the Moon Spirit was the fish, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. So the Moon Spirit, Yin and Yang, I believe Yang was the fish, was the Moon Spirit, and the other one was like darkness, whatever the case would be. Anyway, they're circling each other. There's a lot of here in season 1. Season 1 is not as, what's the word to say? It's more.
It's not as vengeful as the other.
It's vengeful, but it's not. It's more. It's not as serious. It's not as continuous. It's not a saga versus a bunch of episodes happening and it starts building into that story. That versus true. Season 2 and 3 is clear and concise. We know exactly where we're at. We're going straight to point A to point B. Season 1 is like, we can do a little bit here. We're gonna do a little bit here. Do a little bit here. It's more episodic versus a continuous story. I can't think of the other word I'm looking at. It's not continuous. I think it's a continuous story.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that season 1 was most definitely a little dull compared to the other seasons.
It is.
But they most definitely build up with season 2 because then he learns
earthbending.
So you actually see the Avatar go from wind to water to earth, in the different fight scenes that he does. It's actually pretty good. For I guess a non-anime series, for like a cartoon series, action really good action fight scenes, in the movie or in the series.
Yes, it's probably one of the best cartoons out there. And somebody who want to get into anime, it's not only reason not considered anime because it wasn't made in Japan, but it's 100% based off Japanese style animation. Yeah. And the story behind just not run away from your challenges. Learn who you are and face your fears. Yep. Being your own person, not being accepting what somebody else giving to you and say that's who you should be. Like Zuko, he's probably one of the most well-written characters in the show.
He's most definitely my favorite character.
And a lot of people's favorite character because of the fact that
it's more of a redemption story with Zuko compared to Aang's story, which is more or less becoming a man. With Zuko's story is more or less redemption from your past and things of that nature that happen, more or less your daddy issues.
Daddy issues, but he's so trying to impress his father that he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Avatar. And in season 2, he actually betrays, he's doing the metamorphosis where he's becoming a good guy. His uncle is pretty much his father, Uncle Iroh, who's been there the whole time. He's taking care of Zuko, make sure Zuko's not staying in trouble, something like that, and watching over him. He's been Zuko's father, his mentoring, almost like his father character throughout the whole series. Well, Zuko betrays Uncle Iroh in the Avatar gang and pretty much Azula kills Aang in season 2. He gets to be able to return home in season 3 thinking that I got everything I wanted, but I'm not happy. Why I'm not happy? My dad sells me, and there's a whole scene called the Beach where Zuko believes that he's I have everything I want. I have a girlfriend. I have all the riches. I got my father's blessing. Why I'm not happy? I don't understand why I'm not happy. And because he wasn't a bad guy. Mm-hmm. If you watch Avatar, besides burning a few houses, Zuko never killed anybody. He never put anybody in any significant harm. There's multiple times he could have killed Aang. He didn't kill him. Mm-hmm. Multiple times he could have killed Katara and Sokka. He didn't kill him. He just let them get away. Zuko wasn't really a bad character watching it back. Unlike General Zhao, who's I'm gonna kill this fish, kill Yue, I'm gonna kill the people of the Fire Nation, stuff like that, or Water Tribe, I'm gonna burn down the Fire Nation or Earth Kingdom. He was a bad dude. Azula, I'm gonna kill you regardless if you get in my way or not. She was taking out people.
Azula is his little sister, right?
Yeah, the little sister was just pure evil.
Vicious.
She did not care. You got her way, you were dead to her. And Ozai, the Fire Lord, who you actually don't get to see until season 3.
Which is odd because he was in ice for 100 years, right? Mm-hmm. So why is this dude still young as shit?
Who? The Fire Nation?
Yeah.
Aang?
No, not Aang. I'm talking about the Fire Lord.
No, so it's the third one. So in the there's an episode called... It's Avatar Roku's background, which
right. Okay, I remember. It's been a while, but I remember. Yeah, it was his grandfather that
great grandfather.
Yeah, great grandfather that tried to kill everybody.
So the previous Avatar was a firebender named Avatar Roku. He was friends with the Fire Lord, and they go their separate ways. The Fire Lord's let's spread the wealth of the Fire Nation throughout the whole world. Well, his version of spreading wealth was conquering and taking over. Mm-hmm. And Avatar Roku's
but he betrayed him and killed him. Yes.
Yep. They ended up fighting a giant volcano, which is funny because Aang ended up fighting a volcano earlier in the season. Well, Aang beats the volcano that time. This time Roku gets killed and gets turned into pretty much Pompeii. But then his son, I think Azulon, is the original Fire Lord who started it, because Azula is named after his great grandfather.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then it's the grandson who couldn't find Aang, but he pretty much used his powers, the Sozin Comet, to burn. Yeah, Sozin was the original Fire Lord who started the conquer the world thing. Then you have Azulon, who he couldn't find Aang, but he the one who started killing all the people and conquering. And then Ozai was the one who's I'm the big bad, you can't stop me, don't even try to step up to me, I'm gonna burn my own son to teach him a lesson, kind of thing, pretty much because he hated his wife. It's so messed up there. But Aang just needs to stop the Fire Nation because Sozin's comet comes around. When Sozin's comet comes around, it's a 100-year comet.
100-year comet, which gives the Fire Lord his most powerful.
Yes.
Or where the Fire Lord is at his most powerful. Right.
The Fire Nation, they're just like pretty much monsters. You can't stop them. They're going to burn down the whole world. Well, also, Aang learns firebending, so he's also just as strong as they are. And then, so Aang, besides running away from his abilities, and he gets killed in season 2, he comes back in season 3 because Katara has magic ability, not magic, but her healing abilities through the water she did get spirit. She had spirit water that allows you to revive somebody to bring Aang back to life. And Aang for a moment lays low, then
grows some hair. Yeah.
Grows some hair, then decides to team up with the rest of the surrounding nations to charge the Fire Nation. But the problem is, Azula's a tactician, and she knew that everybody's gonna try and team up and take over the Fire Nation because the Earth King runs his mouth and let Azula know in season 2, hey, we're about the day of the eclipse, we're about to take down the Fire Nation. She's like, word? Alright. So the day of the eclipse, she knows the Avatar's alive. Ozai knows the Avatar alive. Zuko betrays his father, finally joins Team Avatar, and Zuko teaches Aang, with the help of the previous dragons, how to use fire and without using rage. So a lot of firebenders use their power from rage. Zuko's like, I don't want to use rage. He would learn how his uncle Iroh, who used it based off of breathing and use it based off of understanding of fire and how it works. It's a whole nother story with the White Lotus group. And it kind of feel like I'm all over the place in this because
No, it's all good.
The story itself is, you're talking 60 episodes over a 4-year period for this series. But pretty much wrap it all up. Aang learns all 4 elements. Fight Ozai in probably one of the most coolest cartoon battles you see.
It's most definitely one of the most badass scenes ever, because you actually see the Avatar switch between his different elements to fight just this one element guy. But this one element guy is actually pretty damn powerful, obviously because he has comet and everything. But
and Aang, so let's talk about characters real quick. Aang he's vegan. No, he's a vegetarian. He doesn't kill. He's a vegetarian and he's a pacifist. Pretty much the whole series, everybody's telling Aang, you need to defeat the Fire Lord. Zuko's like, kill my dad. They're like, you have to kill him. There is no way to stop this dude but death. Yeah. Like Sokka, there's a training montage where Aang gets to a statue of the Fire Lord, which is like a watermelon, and Aang like stops his bow right before he smashed the watermelon, and Sokka's like, what are you doing, Aang? And Aang's like, I can't kill him. I'm a pacifist, and my whole life I've been told violence is not the answer. I must avoid violence. I'm a vegetarian because I don't want to harm life. And Sokka's like, fuck that, and just cuts this watermelon in half. And like, it's one of the most cruel, like a very, when you think
for
of
a
it,
kid show, you know,
yeah, for
like,
a kid show, it's a very brutal scene where he just like the ideal of just cutting a man's head off. He's like, do the job, Aang. Well, Aang learns from the spirit animal how to take away your bending, and he takes Ozai's bending away from him. And he's like, he can't hurt anybody, and Ozai goes to prison for the rest of his life. Zuko becomes the new Fire Lord. Azula goes to prison. Aang and Katara, who is a love relationship between those two.
Didn't he take Azula's powers too? Zuko did something to his sister?
She still has her power. They just wrapped her up.
Oh, I know he fucked her up though.
She started losing her mind because Azula, her whole life was built on control. She controlled everybody through fear and aggression. But when her close friends like Mai and Ty Lee, they was like, we're choosing friendship over you, Azula. Azula started losing her grip on reality because she's like, my whole life of everybody being underneath me and fearing me, nobody's fearing me now. I have no control, and so she just loses her mind. She just goes insane. There's a scene from this episode called The Boiling Rock, where Mai decides to team up with Zuko, who's her boyfriend, and save Zuko. And Azula goes, no, you should fear me more. And she's about to fight Mai, Ty Lee, who can take away your bending temporarily. She blocks your chi. She blocks Azula's chi, and Azula's like, what the? It's like, how do y'all betray me? Y'all gonna rot together. But that's a whole storyline about somebody using their power of fear and aggression and losing control of that. That whole storyline's there too for Azula. That's what she was. She was the big bad for majority of the series, and the only reason she doesn't win is because she no longer has that support system that she thought she was controlling. Katara, when it comes to character, Katara pretty much, she learns revenge is not the answer because she wanted to find her mother's killer. She finally gets that person, and she's like, I can't kill you. You took my mom away from me, but I forgive you in a sense. But she gets closure on that.
She learns how to bloodbend.
Bloodbend, yup.
Which is kind of crazy. That's some, how obviously your blood is like a liquid, so a waterbender can control your body through the blood in your inside.
On the night of a full moon, a waterbender can control blood. If they're really skilled master, they can control your blood and move your body. There's an old lady who teaches Katara how to do it, and Katara learns how to do it reluctantly. She was about to have Aang and Sokka kill each other, and Katara stops the lady from doing it, and she's like, good work. You're now bloodbender. And Katara breaks down in tears because she didn't want to learn this technique, which is pretty dope. And then she ended up using it later in the series too, which is pretty dope as well.
Because she could just did that to the Fire Lord, but whatever.
Yeah, well, she ended up teaming up with Zuko to fight, which is one of the coolest fight scenes as well. Zuko versus Azula, and the animation behind it, and the music score behind it, and the abilities of the showing the abilities of Zuko and Azula fighting each other and using lightning and redirecting lightning, because a firebender can use the friction and create lightning from their body, which is a pretty dope concept as well. Toph, we need to talk about her.
We forgot all about Toph. Holy shit!
Probably one of the best characters in the series.
She's a blind earthbender.
Mm-hmm.
But she finally learns the ability to control metal and different irons and stuff like that. Most definitely one of the most badass. They have some really good badass characters in this series. Now that I'm thinking about it, because everybody has their own thing that they do that, I guess makes me personally like them in their character.
Mm-hmm. Like Toph can use the vibrations of the ground because she doesn't wear shoes because she needs to see it all the time. She doesn't see legit. My quote the show. I don't see like you do. I see by touching everything on the ground. I touch the vibrations and everything how I feel, so I can tell what's on the edge and somebody's breathing or lying based off the vibration they give off. She pretty much like your badass character. She's tough nose, get shit done, get out the way character, and she doesn't feeling wise. She doesn't really have much feelings. She tried to do a whole scene with Zuko, like, well, my bad is this, and Zuko's like, I'm not having it, and she's like, fine. She's not there for feelings. She's there to make sure she's the muscle, 100%. Like she gets introduced via wrestling. Like they have WrestleMania in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that's how Toph gets introduced as the blind bandit. Mm-hmm. And you get to my guy named the Boulder, who's the Rock. It's a whole fun episode. Go watch it. You haven't seen it. I'm trying to think of cons, cause
probably some of the only real cons I see is in the storyline. Obviously,
it starts super slow.
It does start super slow.
And it's not as serious.
I was literally about to say you can't. It's hard to have something kiddie be serious. Hard for something serious to be kiddie. And they go in and out with each episode of that. It's like one episode is super serious, the next episode is super soft. So it's kind of hard to have a good balance in between the two. And
by season 3, they do get that, but season 3 is it's super serious up to the episode called The Emperor Islander Players, which I love. So a lot of shows do this recap stuff before the finale. We're gonna recap everything we did. We'll sit down, have a reminisce, or before the die of the battle. You remember that time? Yeah. This show doesn't do that. This show shows you everything that goes through by having a play. So the crew watches a play of their life from season 1 to season 3, and they're all like, "I don't sound like that. Wait a minute, I don't act like
That's
this."
That's not what happened.
But it is 100% what happened. But the Fire Nation, some writer who is been following their journey, decided to make this play. It's called The Emperor Islander Players. It's the most hilarious, the greatest way to do a recap without doing the recap. Because the character's I don't sound like that. This is not me. And 100%. It is exactly the base stripped version. Toph is the muscle, and when I say that, she's a giant man who uses echolocation to play, and Toph's the only one who loves her character. But everybody else, like Aang, is like, I'm not a feminine character, and Toph's like, no,
I'm a bitch.
yeah, she called him Twinkle Toes for a reason. Katara's like, I don't whine and hope, I don't whine and cry about hope all the time. They're like, no, you're the one who's like, we gotta get through this. We're hope. Sokka's like the comic relief character, which he does have an episode as the series go on about how a valuable character he is. He is the brain of the group. They look to him to figure out stuff. He's the strategist. He grows into that. Without him, a lot of stuff the crew gets into, they wouldn't get out of, even though he's not an earthbender. He's not an elemental person. And matter of fact, when it comes to fighting, he gets his butt kicked 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
He's like Ron Stoppable, but better.
He said Ron Stoppable, but better.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't really think there's a lot of cons in the series itself. I mean, it's a really good series. If you can get past all the laughing.
The kitties, like season 1, the animation too, to add to that, the animation season 1 is not that good.
Yeah.
And it cleans up as the show should do. It should get better with animation over time. And it does clean up, but you're right. It's like I tell people, like, go watch Avatar Last Airbender. I'm almost afraid to tell them to watch season 1 because the fact that it's not as...
Yeah, because those first couple episodes were... Even the action in those first couple episodes wasn't really that good.
Mm-hmm. Really, until you get to the Northern Water Tribe, it's where you... Well, the Storm episode, the Blue Spirit episode, and the episode with the Earthbenders get captured and put onto this giant floating metal rock, or floating metal ship, are really the episodes that you were looking to, like, okay, I understand where Zuko's coming from. I understand where Aang's coming from.
I remember I rewatched it recently, and I was like, I don't remember it being this bad, you know what I mean? But then it got good, you know. I was like, okay, I remember why it was so good, you know what I mean?
Like Appa's lost days, when Appa is lost, or tell the boss thing saying when Iroh goes to his son's grave and breaks down in tears over his son. Uncle Iroh is one of the most cheery characters in the show. He's positive. He loves tea. He had a tea shop. Well, you don't see him break down as much. You don't see him cry. You know, when he does stuff, he's serious. He breaks down in tears over his son's grave. He goes back to the land of, well, the battlefield where his son dies, which is in Ba Sing Se, which is, when you think about it, it's kind of good writing because that's where a lot of shit happens later, where Aang dies, but he cries. He sings a song throughout this whole episode, and he's crying as he's singing the song, and it's like, God, like that's heart-wrenching. I didn't even see that coming. The show progressed to that, but at first, like when Aang loses Appa, which is like his pride and joy, his best friend for life. When he's born, Appa was there to like kind of take care of him. Appa gets kidnapped. His flying bison gets kidnapped, and Aang just goes on, fuck all y'all. I'm going to kill. Where is my bison? Where is Appa? Appa gets shipped into slavery. It is. God, it is a horrible.
Like, there's actually like, now that I'm thinking about it, there actually is a lot of dark shit that happens in the show. Mm-hmm. Because the Earthbenders get put into slavery.
They get put into slavery multiple times.
Multiple times. Then they have to get slaved.
Katara gets captured into like Aang and Katara, Sokka. They go to prison multiple times. Aang gets put in prison. Like this show's a dark show.
And then they had to escape from the fire prison. In the third season or whatever. So
like you go into the cooler, like what the heck?
You keep forgetting like these kids are like fucking kids.
Yes.
Like,
they had to learn to grow up quick.
12, 13, 14, 15.
Sokka loses his girlfriend. She dies in front of his arms.
Oh yeah, the moon bitch, right?
Yep. Yep. She gets killed in front of him. Which then she comes back and like, okay, I gotta go get my spirit up. So like Sokka for the longest time he's afraid of dating another girl because the moon spirit is right there. His first girlfriend is literally watching him.
And like, do we want to talk about the love in the movie?
Or in the series?
Yeah, because obviously Aang and Katara, they hook up. They're like kids or whatever. And then Zuko was banging the one chick. But they were like kids, like, you know, for a kids show. They really, you know, put it on the relationship stuff.
It's a romance story. So when Aang first sees Katara, he's like, he has a huge ass crush on her, like big crush.
And I really was not expecting them to get together at the end of the movie or in the series or whatever.
A lot of people wanted Katara and Zuko to go together.
Yeah.
And the producers or the writers switched it to Aang and Katara because they felt like, I think the blowback, I think it felt better for the story than those two. But you're right, like a lot of people thought Zuko and Katara because water and fire opposites.
Yeah, they're always,
they have a moment together almost. Katara likes a guy named Jet that Aang kind of gets jealous of.
Yeah.
But Aang questions like whether Katara loves him or not, and then the end of season 3, Aang does ask her to be his girlfriend. She's like, I'm not ready for it. And then she finally accepts him. So Aang kind of does the whole I'm going to get the girl kind of situation where he like search her down.
Yeah. That's a little weird. He got a little weird.
Yeah, she's older than him too, so like
that's a little weird too.
Yeah. But writing wise, it so goes on, it does get better. It's hard for me to think of any negative besides season 1 is probably the worst thing of Avatar: Last Airbender, because it's so episodic. Like it's like they didn't know how the show was going to continue, and then when they saw how big of a hit it is, Nickelodeon's like, keep it going. And it's like, all right, we'll finish it up. We can get more serious with it because it really is kiddish and childish at first.
Probably the only real negative thing is obviously getting toward the end of the episode is we got to talk about the movie. So first off, the movie is actually titled The Last Airbender because
Avatar,
it came out at the same time
James
Cameron's Avatar came out, and so they didn't want to confuse the two, so they just called it the Last Airbender,
which is fine.
Which is understandable. M. Night Shyamalan is the director, who is a good goddamn director. He's got to breathe. He's got to breathe.
Yo, keep going, because you're saying good stuff. You're saying everything that
M. Night Shyamalan is the director, which is, I think maybe the movie sucked because this director was out of his element, because he does nothing but horror movies. You know, that psychological drama, the psychological what the fuck is going on in the movie type shit. And so this was a movie that was most definitely out of his element, you know, dealing with some kiddie shit, you know, so it's kind of hard for him to take it seriously. You know, any other excuses that I can come up with for my man here? No. This dude fucked this whole entire movie up, this whole entire series up.
They literally stopped. They had a trilogy made for this, and they stopped it. Like, it got to the point where Legend of Korra lost money because of this movie.
Not only did they change the character's name,
instead of Aang. Like, this is what makes me so mad about this. It was made in America. The Avatar: The Last Airbender is not made in Japan. It's not made in China. You don't have to do any adaptation. You literally just pull it from fucking Nickelodeon. That's in fucking Florida. Like, I'm sorry, but it mind blows me. It's like taking NASCAR, like a concept, like, oh, we have NASCAR, American made, American
It's like taking NASCAR and call it Nakar.
Yes, it's American made. What more do you need? There's no need for adaptation. Like, oh, the American Revolution, we're in America. Nah, I don't like George Washington.
Let's talk about the casting.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's a single A-list actor in this movie.
Yes.
So that's kind of hard for them to sell it.
Okay, that's fine.
The characters that they did find for this movie were literally kids that they just thought looked good as the characters that had no acting experience.
Right.
And so the acting in this movie is fucking terrible.
It is horrible.
It is horrible.
Also, another thing, so the Avatar: Last Airbender TV show, there's different races, and you can tell what people look like based off of where they're from. This movie, everybody looks the same, pretty much. Besides the Fire Nation, which are all Indian or Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay, M. Night.
And then, so they try to jam pack 23 episodes of the first season into an hour and 40 minutes.
Yes, and the cuts of it is super, like, it's super cut. It's super like
just it is a lot of choppy, moving around shit. He comes out of the glacier. He's already captured on the boat. He goes from the boat to being captured to where what's his name has to save him. He goes from there to the Water Nation. It is very. He doesn't even have enough time to learn water bending in the film for it to be good.
They just talk to you about every little thing. There's no show. It's all tale. It's like Aang and Katara and Sokka fly to the Southern Air Temple, and then they go to the Northern Water Tribe, and they learn with Master. Also, Sokka and Yue becomes fast friends. Zuko shows up and says, "Bring me all your elderly." Why does Zuko want the elderly? Why does Zuko want the elderly? In the show, it explains that he thinks the Avatar is a 100-year-old man because
There's a whole
100 years. Yeah, he's gone for 100 years, so he should be an old person. He's not expecting a kid. In the movie, the dude takes this dude tattoos off and like, this is Avatar, of course. Like there's no Aang didn't do any airbender. He just took the mask off. Aang had a hood on. He took the hood off and like, all right, you're coming in here. And
why couldn't they paint blue tattoos on this dude?
I don't know.
They had this like little weird design shit going
like,
on.
Henna, is it called henna tattoos? Like henna design, which is cool. Once again, I'm okay with that. You at least try. I get it. Fine. Why does he tell Aang? So Aang's on the ship, right? This is bad writing. It's bad writing, bad scripting. Aang is on the ship and Zuko runs up. Don't run. Aang's like, fly. What the hell? What? Also, the Fire Nation, because for some reason, I guess M. Night figured that them just shooting fire out their body doesn't make sense or make them too powerful. So they need fire around to use firebending. So if you just put fire out, they can't do anything.
Into the movie.
There's a whole, okay. Oh, God. Even bad set pieces. The Earth Nation are earthbenders. They have a whole group of earthbenders who can move Earth. No matter what it is, they can move it. Why is there a concentration camp of them surrounded by Earth in a valley surrounded by walls of Earth? They're in a canyon. Make this make sense to me. It is like 10 Fire Nation dudes and like 20 Earth guys who all can use Earthbender. And Aang goes, I'm the Avatar. I'm gone, but now I'm back. Let's team up. And the guy was like, yeah, we should fight. So also, before this fight scene starts, Katara runs up and pushes this Firebender dude. The dude just laughing. He goes, oh, you're an Earthbender boy? Let's see some Earthbender. And Katara runs up and like push the guy, like leave him alone. Which the Fire Nation's like, why you push us? All right, let's fight. And then the Earthbender started fighting. Why would y'all? I don't understand.
See, this is where it's fucked up, because you got to think in the movie, in the cartoon, you know, they're little kids fighting grown ass men, whatever. It looks good in the cartoon. It does not look good in a movie, because then it's like it does have some sort of realism feel to it. You know what I mean? Because like you got Katara pushing this grown ass man, and this dude could literally just slap the shit out of her, and that'd be it. You know, but
she decided to use Firebender, like he take the fire and he goes.
Yeah, it's.
Why are you doing
bad.
all this movement for? So the movie rushes through a lot of stuff, a lot of exposition, a lot of talking. There's a scene in this movie that cracks me up. So General Zhao, who's a villain in season 1, he runs to Prince Ozai, they show Ozai a lot in this movie. He goes Ozai and goes. Ozai asks us, "You're telling me my son is this thing called the Blue Spirit?" And Zhao just sits there for like this. Yes. And then again, the scene.
Again, the acting is really bad. The acting is really bad.
And I think Dave Patel's his name. I think he's a good actor and other stuff, but like they got him in this movie. It's literally one of the worst films you can watch. I did a drinking game for this. How many times you see somebody's name's bad? I was hammered by the end of the game. Like it is that horrible of a movie. The action sequences is not even good. There's nothing redeeming. Like, if I'm gonna give this movie any slight credit, is that the music, at the ending music scene. So Aang.
Ong.
Oh God. Ong.
I was waiting for you to say it, man. His name's Ong.
Ong. So in the cartoon, I don't understand you can't do this. Aang teams up with one of the moon spirits and turns into a giant fish and starts destroying the Fire Nation after they kill the white moon spirit. Okay, cool. I get it in the cartoon.
Yep.
In the movie, Aang stops the Fire Nation by just making that giant tidal wave as a giant wall, and the Fire Nation's like,
damn, I can't climb that.
let's retreat.
I mean, they come up and they're all looking like, oh, can't climb that.
Yep,
All right.
all right, leave. Like,
Right.
what do you mean? Zhao, by the way, Zhao's been their main enemy in this movie. He's been harassing Zuko. He's been harassing, I don't think, no, he does come in contact with Aang.
Yeah.
How does he die in this movie? Zuko's about to fight Zhao. Iroh comes up and is like, nah, Zuko, we ain't fighting him. Zhao's like, okay. Then 4 unknown waterbenders walk up, use the giant water bubble from Harry Potter, grab Harry Potter 5, by the way, the Order of the Phoenix, like when Dumbledore and Voldemort fight each other, and they're like, there's a giant water thing that comes up and splash. Well, that water, that same animation from that movie, is in this movie, and they come up, grab Zhao. Once again, your main villain, who's in fighting your protagonist, is killed by 4 no-names. They just put him in a giant water bubble, drown him, and then drop him and walk and run away. 4 unknown people who have no attachment to. You don't care about these people. It's bad writing. Your main villain should not be taken out. It's like Vader getting taken out by a random stormtrooper who just said, fuck it, I'm done with your shit, Darth. Pow. Luke just like,
No, that was easy.
yeah, like that's literally how it was like. It's like watching a movie where your main villain is just killed by some off-screen dude who just runs up and said,
Well, I mean, what happened at the end of the movie?
so Aang does the water thing.
He does the water
and
thing.
then they're like, everybody stops, and then like the return to Avatar, and Aang does a bow and looks nervous, like, I'm not ready for this moment.
Yeah.
And that's it. The movie cuts, and then you get an after credit scene where Ozai's like, your brother Zuko has failed. Azula, go take out the Avatar. And she's like, yes, father. And then like, oh, they thought they were gonna get a sequel. They thought they were gonna have 3 series. It is literally the worst. Dragon Ball Evolution is a better movie than this. I will watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation before I watch Last Airbender again.
This is true. Facts. Like, it is probably the worst movie that I've ever seen.
And I remember.
And you have high expectations for the movie. When the first movie came out, you had very, very high expectations for it.
I remember watching this in theaters. I never forget watching this in theaters. I went with a movie with a friend.
Yeah.
Me and him looked at each other and we was like, we should have watched Toy Story 3. It was playing right next door. It was literally playing in the right next theater. We went and came and watched this movie. To me, Dragon Ball Evolution makes sense. Any anime adaptation movie you make, Death Note, and you try to change it to American, and it makes sense. But when you get a movie that's legit made, it's like taking Mickey Mouse and saying, I'm gonna make him a rat. And change the name from Mickey to Mikey Mouse. And you're like, who the fuck is this? Like,
Did Nickelodeon Studios actually put up the money for this?
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's what, yeah, that's bad.
The writers themselves walked out on this movie. The writers for Avatar Last Airbender walked out because it's like, this is not what it should be. What are you doing? And they literally not.
They made it way too Hollywood, man.
And like, I'm not trying to like, and the bad part is, try to watch this movie now as a fanboy and just watch it like subjectively and give an honest opinion. It's still bad. Like, you take away.
This is one of those movies where you forget that it was made. Like, there's no time capsule to the year this movie came out. Like, you forget this movie was made.
Like,
yeah.
And what makes it so bad though? Go talk to anybody who watches Avatar Last Airbender and just mention the movie The Last Airbender and watch them all wince in pain.
They foam at the mouth. It's really bad. And then M. Night Shyamalan, like, the only way he could redeem himself from this movie was coming out with Split and Glass and those kind of movies. Like,
and it took him what, like 7 years to finally do that?
7 years to come out with a decent movie.
Because The Happening came out, I think around this time. It wasn't good. Like,
yeah. Talk about fucking up your career,
man. Cause he did Signs people love. He did
he did Signs.
I See Dead People, which is Sixth Sense. I think he did that.
He did
like,
Unbreakable.
Like, he had a running track, and like, he was the hottest thing in Hollywood. Like, he was one of the hottest directors in Hollywood, and he
fell off really hard.
This movie.
What the fuck were you thinking?
And this movie has a bunch of Razzies too, which is like considered like one of the worst movies out there. I think it's called the Razzies. Like, this movie is like 2008's one of the worst movies of the. It bothers me when you have the source material and you just said fuck it.
I'm gonna put my own thing on it and see what happens.
And when the source material, like the Earthbending being in a concentration camp on water, on a steel thing when they can't use steel, on a steel ship on water, it makes sense. They can't use, like Katara and Aang had to sneak coal onto the ship for them to bend to use. The movie had them in a concentration camp, and then the animation, like the choreography of that fight, there's a giant earth wall that comes up that protects this guy and his son. And what you see is like 6 guys in the background doing like some haka dance, and a giant like rock comes across. The problem was they did the earth wall. Those 6 dudes did the earth wall, but the way the form of it looked, the earth wall came up first. Then you see them going, and then the next dude was like this. And then you see the small rock come by, and the next dude behind them is pushing the small rock. But the way the choreography looked, like the 6 guys was moving the small rock, and you're like, how? Choreography. The one thing you got right was the designs of characters. You at least know who looks. You know who Katara and Sokka look like.
No, man, because even with Zuko, he didn't have like a red. He had like a scar, but he didn't have like a red like.
I was just thinking
scar.
I was like,
you know, he just had like a
some like maybe
like his dad slapped him around a little bit. That was it.
Katara versus Zuko in the movie was bad too. Cause I was like, Katara, you're around like she's fighting Zuko around a bunch of water. Katara, just put the water out. I was literally screaming. It's like after I watched it again, I watched it for my review to before. I was like, Katara, put the water out. Put the water out, Katara. Put the water out. He can't bend fire without fire. Put the water out. Why the fuck are you not putting the water out? Get knocked out. I was like, who wrote this? And then Ozai can bend fire out his hands, and this is literally what the bad guy said. Oh my gosh, he's spitting fire out of his body. Run. Writing, I don't know how you were so horrible.
It happens, man. It happens.
Like,
it happens.
The source material is right there in your hands. You said fuck it. You didn't give a good script. You didn't get a good story. You did directing, choreography.
Got a bunch of homeless people to do the choreography. We can only bash the movie for so long. So let's just in the episode. The series is really good. The movie, we forget about the movie.
Ass.
It's pure ass. We forget about the movie. The movie sucked. It sucked. But that's another episode of Movie Reviews with Associates Productions. James, Ali, we'll see you guys next week.
Sorry for going off.